everybody, welcome back to the Time Pass Podcast. This is your host, Ashika. Thank you so much for joining me today, you guys. If you haven't done so already, please like me on Facebook at Time Pass Podcast. Follow me on Instagram at timepass_podcast. And check out the YouTube channel where you can watch all the episodes of the Time Pass Podcast. If you are an auditory listener, wherever you tune into podcasts, wherever you're listening to the Time Pass Podcast, please make sure that you are liked, followed, or subscribed on your listening platform of choice. Hey guys, I have a guest.
Hi.
Hi, Bestie.
Hi, it is me.
It is me, Fabian.
Yes.
Well, y'all, how many times, and you know, right? Like, how many times have we heard, seen memes, reels, TikToks about a best friend like saying, well, if you would have listened to me, if you would have taken my advice, if you would have done what I said, oh, you did that? Oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. Like,
I cannot believe it happened.
So, I wanted to interview you today, and ask you some questions about what you think about my dating life, habits, and your opinions on some men that have been in my life.
How honest can I get?
100%, as usual.
Okay, not holding back.
Not holding back, but you can't talk about certain things. That's our new thing, guys. Okay. How would you, Mr. Fabian, describe my love life?
Catch and release.
Wait, like catch and release me, or I'm catching and releasing?
Well, both.
Both.
Because sometimes the guys that are really into you, you're just like, no, I don't think it's working out, and you just release.
I do.
And the guys that you really like,
They
release you.
They catch.
So it's kind of like a catch and release. Like, yeah, you don't get to keep whatever you fish or they fish. I mean,
You have reduced my love life to a fish. I am not a fish.
I mean,
A pretty fish.
you're delicious.
Listen, nobody has tasted this fish in a long time.
Throw some lines out, people. We have some fish in the pond.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So catch and release. That's how you would describe my love life.
Yes.
Any other choice words?
A hot mess right now.
Right now, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Non-existent. Up in smoke.
Up in smoke. Up in that motherfucker burned.
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay.
Yeah, that's it. All very positive, right?
Whose idea was this?
Yours.
I know. Because I think, like, no holds bar, and I know you would do it, you know, like, give your opinions on my love life, and we would be fine afterwards. Like, I won't hate you.
Oh, yeah, no.
I won't not call you.
No, you're not treacherous like
Yeah, no. Okay. In your opinion, why am I still single?
Because I feel like when somebody comes around, like you're too giving. Like you commit to things, and I feel like guys just don't appreciate that. Like, I don't know. Some guys are just like...
Are you saying I scare them away?
No, not necessarily, but I feel like if somebody is seeing somebody and then they just feel comfortable talking about certain things, like those might be like a red flag to them, which is not in a regular situation, you know? You already have a child, you have a house, you have like...
Everything.
Yeah, you have everything. So when you're like... When you have strong opinions about things, it might come out as like, oh, she wants to like plan a life now. You know, like...
I don't walk around picking out wedding dresses.
No. But as far as like, oh, I like to travel, like this is the, like, it might be like a little too like
Too much.
adult for some people, you know?
Well, I thought I was talking to an adult as of recent.
Sometimes they're not.
Yeah, that age thing, y'all. No. No, doesn't matter how old they are.
No.
Yep.
But it's like, yeah, that's what I think.
So you think it's because I'm too giving?
Yeah.
Or like too like, I talk about big picture stuff.
Yeah, like I feel like you give yourself, not necessarily that you're like after them all the time and that you don't like let them have their own space and stuff, but it's like they...
Do you think I'm too vulnerable too soon?
Yeah, that's what it is, yeah. Like you just come out and like expose yourself, like you give everything, you know, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's because I struggle with being vulnerable. So I hyper. If I like someone, I hyper like, oh, I like you.
Like you're not trying to hold any information back.
Yeah.
But I feel like it might be like, oh my God, like...
She likes me.
Yes. And they might get scared because then you start talking about like, you know, your life. Like you
Personal
like to travel.
shit.
You like to do stuff out of the blue. You like to do... So it's like, for them, it's like, oh my God, like, whoa.
Like she has her shit together.
Like it's too much. Like too much adulting, you know?
What? I'm not a child though.
No, I know, but you know, some people are not up for that.
But see, so for me, like I'm looking for like intimacy in a relationship, right? Long term. And the only way you can get that is by being vulnerable.
Yeah.
So
But
like
it comes out as too much feelings, you know? Like if you're exposing yourself emotionally, it comes out as feelings because some people don't know how to take like the different types of conveying feelings, you know?
yeah. I'm sweet. Yeah.
Too sweet, you little neutral sweet.
Jesus.
Tone it down, Stevia.
Why I gotta be fake sweet?
No, that's
cane
natural.
sugar.
That's natural. It comes from the
Stevia's
stevia
natural?
plant, yes.
Okay, fine. Oh, I knew that. I knew that. Okay. Okay, more fun stuff because that was deep.
That was deep.
First you made me a fucking fish, and then you say I have too many feelings. I'm about to feel. I'm about to feel something. Okay, let's do some fun stuff. In your opinion, which one of the men that have been in my life do you think was actually good for me?
Aww.
Or is good for me?
Aww. Well, Stevie.
Oh.
The British.
The British.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know.
Because when he is here, he's all about you.
Yeah.
You know, like there's no, I'm going to do this. Like he will literally cancel plans to go somewhere else, to do something else, to like hang around with you.
I know.
Because he likes to be around you and he likes to be, like for you to take him places and teach him stuff and show him stuff and, you know?
Yeah.
He explores with you like new foods, like all this stuff, you know?
Travel.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I feel like if he were in this country, like...
I said this right after we met him, that if Stevie lived here, it'd probably be a wrap.
Yeah.
It'd be a done deal.
Yeah. I mean, as long as he was in the States, I feel like you guys would make it work.
Oh, we would fucking make it work. We
Yeah.
still talk, and he's across
I
the
know.
pond.
I know.
Just FYI, Miles, not a real excuse.
No.
Anyway.
Gee, bitter much?
Well, okay, yeah, I give you that one. I agree. And this last one gave me a very unique experience also, something that I will hold on to, which was just, I think he was the first person who made an effort to like really put a smile on my face, you know, did things just because he knew that they made me happy and made me smile. But Steve, God, he's the only man that ever looked at me in that dreamy way, you know, where he's just, you don't know what the fuck he's thinking, but he's just like zoned out staring at you.
You
and I
little colonizer.
I know. Ugh. Okay.
Yeah.
Which one of the men that have been in my life do you hate or dislike the most?
Ooh. I'm gonna be real honest.
Okay.
the last one.
Ooh, I knew you didn't like him.
Just because of the way that he disregarded you. I know ultimately, like, you liked each other, and had he gotten his shit together, you'd be, like, perfect together. But, like, just the way that he was in certain situations were, like...
Total disregard to my feelings.
Total disregard and neglect. And even not even acknowledging certain things that were supposed to be acknowledged, you know?
Yeah.
That's why I don't. As a person, how you guys, like, used to have chemistry and all that stuff, like, yes, I love that about him and you, but, like, the other stuff just outweighs more of that. Because nobody else did that.
No, I guess not. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say something and I forgot. I don't know. You said something and I was gonna say something.
The disregard and neglect, maybe?
Oh, I feel like, you know how this is the Time Pass podcast show? Mm-hmm. That was the him show.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, everything was on his timeline.
Yes. And it was his feelings. Mm-hmm. And when he wanted to talk about it.
If he wanted to talk about it.
If he wanted to talk about it. You know, it was the him show. Mm-hmm. And that, you know, I need balance. You
do, because it's not all about one person, and he made it about him, and, like, he wasn't necessarily asking for your input in things when he should have. And when you try to give input, like, he literally wouldn't even reciprocate the communication.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's, like, messed up.
That's why you dislike him the most.
Yes.
Okay. All right. If you could control one of my behaviors in dating, because there's times that you tell, like, you know, until the minute we hang up, you're like, do not, and it could be do not drink, do not text, do not check your story, whatever it is. But if you could control one of those things, what would it be?
You're texting when you've been drinking a little. Because all inhibitions are gone. And then next morning you're like, guess what I did? And I'm like, no, you did not text again.
But I never did that with this last one. Not while drinking.
No, but I feel like that either the texting with certain people, or with this last one, even when he was like MIA, you would still try to be cordial and like reach out to see how they're doing. Even though they're the ones who like literally ghosted. Yeah.
I'm a nice person.
I know, but sometimes you need to let them reach out.
I know, but like you never know. Like what if something happened?
Let them get out of the hospital and text you. No.
Wow. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're making me sound like a chump. I have the feelings.
You need to I feel like you're just trying to make the other person comfortable and, you know, like make sure that they know that they're liked and that
I appreciate effort. Yes.
However, certain people just need to, you know, loop around and circle back around to you. You can't be the one reaching out all the time.
I wasn't reaching out all the time in this one.
No.
He would reach out.
Yes.
He pursued me, FYI.
Yes. However, when I was like, do not text, do not do this, and you're like, hey, guess what I did?
Well.
So, yeah.
Okay. Okay. In general, you've kind of talked about it a little bit, but there's other people around, sniffing around, right? So, in general, what do you think about recent events in my love life? This current situation and maybe upcoming things, or just...
I think that it's a little more promising than before.
You just like this man.
I feel like, okay, he's been...
And how is he different from this...
other one?
Yes.
Okay.
This last one.
So, yes, he was on my shit list too.
Yes.
And he's still not out of it.
Yes.
However, I've always had a soft spot for him because you're both the same culture.
Yeah.
You make a cute couple.
Oh,
when
please.
he's around you, he's like the sweetest to you. He's all about you. He like looks at you.
I never catch him looking at me.
Well, he's not looking at me. Is he? Wait, he's looking at you?
Shut up.
You better tell me when I'm not.
No.
I just feel like he's a good guy, but he's going through some stuff personally too that like just makes him absent, which then he doesn't communicate for a while too.
Yeah.
But I feel like he's got more of a legitimate reason than other people.
Well, the reason I got from that other person was kind of bullshit, but...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this guy doesn't tell you, but he'll just be gone and then he's all about you. Like, oh, I want to meet you out if you're out with your friends. I want to, you know, like he tries to do stuff with you. We should ask him if he's going to PBR.
Oh, we should ask him if he's going to PBR.
He's probably going to PBR. Because he's all country.
Yeah, that's
with his boots.
You are so crazy.
You need that in your life.
You know what I need in my life? Consistency.
Yeah.
That's what I want. Because when I don't get consistent communication, it drives me fucking crazy.
I know. And then you start thinking, who are they with? What are they doing? Like they can't even shoot me a 30-second blah, blah, blah. Like,
yeah, a fucking video.
Yeah.
Or a message, like...
Or a sunset pic.
Don't remind me of those. I'm gonna fucking hate the sunset for the rest of my fucking life.
Excuse me, no.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry. You know I pronounce things funny. Okay. Going back to that one.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now I know you already voted him as the one that you dislike the most, but you never really liked him. And I secretly thought is because you voiced several times, you're not moving.
Okay, that was one of the things.
Yeah, I feel like you thought that I would just up and leave my house and just move.
Yeah, I don't know. No, but then after, like, you guys started talking, then, like, the other shitty stuff that he started doing overpowered that, and I didn't even think about it.
You didn't think about that? I think for me, like, distance was such a non-issue.
I know.
Because I travel so much, you know? And he fucking... Well, whatever. Anyway, but because I travel so much and because I have family in that area, like, to me, it was just like,
No, and then you started talking about how, like, you could split, like, weekends here and there. And I'm like, oh, that's doable as long as you don't freaking move 100%, you know?
Well, yeah, well, because you and I were like, if this works out, you know, what?
Yeah.
How is it going to look? Because I think you made me think about that early on. Like, you were kind of like, can you do the distance?
And you were okay with it.
I was okay with it. Lo and behold, other people knew they weren't okay with it and kept that information with me. Yes, exactly. Yeah, and so, like, you know, I guess when he said that too, like, I think I maybe hinted at it, like, distance, I get it. Like, some people just can't do it. Like, but I almost wanted to be like, it's not a problem for me, but I guess it's a problem. You know, like, kind of like, I just don't see it as a problem. But I remember you told me, you know, in the beginning, you were like, you know, some people don't like distance because they want to come home to that person or they want to just like go out for dinner on a weeknight or something like that. And you being here and him being there, like, you won't be able to do those things. Are you okay with it? And I guess from my point of view, I'm such a busy person. And I know that he's so fucking busy too, that I was just like, well, I think it'll be fine because a lot of my free time happens on the weekend anyway.
Yeah.
You know? And you know my problem too, I don't like being smothered.
No.
I like my alone time.
No, it would have worked, but you can't control what other people feel.
No, I know. I know.
You know, because if they're checked out, like, the worst thing you can do is, like, try to convince them otherwise, and they're...
Oh, I'm not trying
like,
to... No.
No, but that's what I'm saying is, like, you wouldn't, but it's, like, that's the worst thing somebody can do.
Yes. Yes, and I'm not about that life.
You
like,
aren't.
you don't want me,
Not
bye. Yeah.
Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But I always thought you didn't like him because of the distance. And I remember the funniest thing was when Kelsey and we went out, and Kelsey and I were in our Uber, and she was like, oh, tell me about this new guy that you're talking to, whatever. So I was filling her in, and then she's like, what does Fabian say? And I was like, and I literally told her, I was like, Fabian doesn't like him because he thinks I'm gonna up and move down south. And the first thing you say to her when she gets to the bar, you're like, this hoe's not moving. And it was so hilarious. Remember Kelsey was like, she told me you
but
didn't
that
like
was
him
very
because of that.
early on, and then just the stuff that he started doing, I totally forgot about the distance because you were okay with it, and I'm like, okay, because obviously you
Apparently, I
you
should
couldn't
have
move
asked
because
him.
of your child, you know. So then I was like, yeah, logistically, she's not gonna move. So then I was done with the distance, but then like just the stuff that he started doing and not being consistent all the time, I was just like,
He's probably, like, in the beginning, he was probably, like, the most consistent man I have ever
yeah, but then there
talked
was once
to.
in a while that like maybe a few hours where it was like a little routine, and then he didn't follow the same routine as before, and you're like, what's going on?
Exactly.
That's what I was thinking, and I'm like, I started to, I mean, seriously, in the back of my mind, I'm like, it would not surprise me if he was maybe talking to somebody else and he couldn't dedicate certain hours to you because
It was really fishy, the times of day that he
or
chose
days
to,
of the weekend, you know, like,
chose to communicate. Yeah.
so I was, but then like just him and what he's got going on in his life, it wasn't that. I just didn't like in the end that he wasn't considerate of you.
Yeah,
Like,
I didn't like that either.
Yeah, because if he didn't want to fall more for you, he was still like baiting you in some instances, but then he wasn't consistent and he wasn't telling you, hey, FYI, like, this is what I'm thinking. He never did that.
No, and mind you, the first time he said we needed a talk was weeks ago.
Yes.
And then never had that talk. I called him out on it a week later, and he was just like, haha, yeah, I need to give you a call.
And then,
but then never followed through with it. So it's like, in my head, what is hurting to me is the fact that you said you wanted to talk about something weeks ago, which means that is when you had your mind made up.
Mm-hmm.
Yet you put that conversation off because you liked my attention. You liked the energy I was giving you. You liked hearing me say how much I like you.
Yeah, and that whole constant communication where it was like you were sending each other little things that you each liked about each other, you know, like just that interaction. I feel like he didn't want to. It's like those married guys who are telling the lover, like, hey, I'm divorcing, we're separated, blah, blah. Yet they're still having like this wonderful relationship with, you know?
Yeah.
With both. They don't want to let go of certain things even though they know that they should. And that's what I didn't like, is that he was not honest.
Yeah. And for me, I think that's really what hurts, is the fact that he could have put me out of my misery a long time ago. A long time ago. And then maybe I wouldn't have continued to... The thing is...
Develop stuff.
Well, and the thing is like, I fucking told him. He knew that I liked him, and I told him that it was hard for me to be vulnerable with people that I like. Yet, he heard and saw me...
And took advantage of that.
Yes!
I mean, even if he didn't see it as taking advantage of that, like, he literally did.
Well, he did, because if he knew that it wasn't going to go anywhere for him, he can't do it, then you should have told me then that you can't do it. Not just string me along. Now, granted, he did apologize profusely for leading me on.
Yeah, but this is after you literally were like insistent on having a talk.
Yeah, that's true. He's not the one who actually did it. I had to prompt him to do it. That's the other thing that pissed me off.
Yeah, had you let it go, you would still be in limbo.
Yes.
And who knows when this talk would have happened?
I know.
A year from now? And then you would have been like literally like deep in it.
Yeah.
If you could get any deeper.
Shut up, ho. It's not my fault. I
know.
I trust easily.
Yes.
I trust easily, and I...
Ugh.
Anyway.
Untrust,
yes. No, these motherfuckers don't deserve fucking trust. Not my trust, at least, because I trust so fucking blindly. You know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't fucking... You know what gets me, but then it doesn't get me? It's like, it doesn't matter how many times I get fucking burned by being so trusting. I keep, like... It's almost a stubbornness in me that's like, I'm not going to change who I am because of one motherfucker.
Yeah.
You know? And I always hate that. So I try really fucking hard to still bring my genuine self to a connection.
Yeah.
And then it just fucking burns me again.
But there's no other way that you know how to be. Like,
I know.
Otherwise it's not gonna come out genuine, and people are gonna see through that and they're gonna be like, well, you're fucking phony. Like,
yeah, it wouldn't be me.
Your feelings are not.
It wouldn't be me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, this is a big one.
Ooh, like we can get any bigger.
Do you think that I'm the drama?
Sometimes you are.
What do you mean? I'm not the drama, you guys.
She's the drama. Because, okay, like when some people stop like communicating, then you literally jump to conclusions and you're like, what are they doing? Are they with, am I allowed to say CB?
Yes.
Are they with their cum bucket? Are they out with somebody else? What are they doing that they can't, like, you literally just unraveled at the seams at the sign of like no communication like the first few times.
It's a trigger for me.
I know, which I get, but I'm like, just let it go. Just don't think about it because it's gonna drive yourself crazy. And sure enough, like, yes, that's your downfall. Is like you care too much that it like everything like that will trigger you, and like that's like a set off for you.
You heard some really interesting conversations.
Yeah.
We had some really interesting conversations.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody gets to see that except for you.
I know.
You're special. Oh, God. This is actually leading right into the next question. When I am emotionally attached to someone, it's kind of a roller coaster, I think. What's it like for you?
I mean, you always say, your bullshit is my bullshit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm having literally the same feelings that you're having because I'm like, I cannot believe this motherfucker just did that to us. Like, I'm literally thinking like, to us. And it's so... Like, I hate it when people let down other people, especially if it's like you, somebody really close to me. And I'm like, how can they get off doing that to anybody, let alone like a personal, like, family member, you know? Like,
yeah.
So it's like, I take it personal. So that's why it's like, when he started burning bridges, I'm like tallying him in my head and I'm like, it's just going up. Like, nothing's going, negative points, demerits are like piling up and like,
the positives were...
The positive points, the good points are not outweighing those. Like, and the other thing is, some people will not, like, try to rescue that or, like, justify it with something legitimate. You know, like, some people, like the last one, will just pretend like nothing happened and resume a conversation just by, like, oh, how are you today? Knowing that few days had gone by where they had not acknowledged you, replied to whatever you had asked, or even gave you signs of life.
Yeah.
So I feel like, yeah.
So I feel like, I think what I got a lot of times you would be like, did we get a message?
Oh, wait. What did he say?
What did he say to us?
Not yet, how?
What did he say to us?
Yeah. Because it's like really personal, like.
You're right there for the thick of it.
Yeah.
You're through the thick of it with me.
Yeah, because I want to see you happy. I want to see people around me happy. And when that's not happening, I'm like, how in the hell do those other people get off doing this? You know?
I'm amazing.
Because if I don't communicate with somebody, the first thing, like even if it's just like my sibling group on a group text message, I'm like, I'm sorry, I was super busy. I was working or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's like the first thing that I try to do so they don't think that I was just like ignoring them on purpose.
Yeah.
Which it seemed like other people were doing when they're not like giving you the proper respect, you know?
Yeah. Like I said, I think it was the him show.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're on those roller coasters together.
Yeah, we are. Mm-hmm. We talk multiple times a day, but our morning conversations are how we start our day.
Yes.
Right? With this is a lot about this last man. I don't know what I was thinking when I wrote these questions.
Let me tell you.
So with this last man, how would you describe our morning conversations? You could always tell, and the thing that got to me is after a few, like, just like, hey, you could always tell if I was in a good mood or a bad mood.
Because if it was good news, they'd be like, guess what? And I'd be like, why? Or you wouldn't even let me ask the question. I would answer it and be like, this motherfucker. Guess what he did? So it was.
You didn't know who was coming to the call.
No.
You did not know who was coming to the call.
No.
Was it happy me, or was it pissed off me, or sad me?
So it would either be, I got my 5 o'clock video, or this motherfucker did not send me anything, no shit last night, or this morning.
Yeah.
So that's how I could gauge your tone.
and then you would just know. You would be like, ooh, the people in the office better watch out when you get to it.
I'm like, ooh, people better move out. Move out the way. Juju, get out the way.
You would be like, who's spitting your who's peeing in your Cheerios? Huh? I was like, I'll tell you who.
Yeah.
Oh God. Okay, back to more lighthearted stuff. What do you think is my most toxic behavior in dating? Toxic behavior, not just a bad behavior or something you'd like to change.
Your most toxic, that, like, if you're on a little regimen with somebody or a little routine with them, and then it kind of deviates a little, you're off the hinges. Like, that's kind of toxic, because then you're like checking the stories to see if they've seen your story, checking their Instagram or whatever social media to see if they posted. And if they posted, why couldn't they have communicated with you or texted you or something? Because they're doing something. Like, I feel like you need to give the benefit of the doubt to other people.
This motherfucker didn't deserve the benefit of the doubt.
That's your toxic trait.
Well, he has shown he did not deserve the benefit of the doubt anyway.
Ultimately, yes, but I feel like
I'm very untrusting, especially when the thing is I trusted him. That's why I was so vulnerable with him. But the minute you go no communication with me, whether it's for a day or 2 days, it's, it's all the baggage from the previous relationships and how those situations. I start thinking, is this motherfucker gonna go off and get married? Is that what he's doing right now?
You're like,
is he getting married?
Where is he going? Where did he go?
So, I mean, you can't be, knowing my past history.
Yes.
The last 2 men that I've dated ended in a very similar way. Both were toxic. So, yeah, it does make me second guess every single time.
Yeah, but it's not toxic. Like, what you do, especially with this last one, it's not toxic towards them. It's more toxic to you. And you're like,
myself and my well-being.
You're basting yourself in the toxic water that you created, which is not healthy for you.
Yes, I know. It's almost like I'm gonna have a heart attack. Like it's like, oh, my blood pressure.
Yeah.
My blood pressure. Okay. What do you think is the best thing about me that a man would get if he was in my life?
That you're very attentive. Like, you're all about them. Like, yes, you will give them their space if they want it, but like, if you pay attention to like the details, like you'll know their favorite drink. If they tell you a restaurant that they love, then you'll keep it in the back of your, like, you're just very detail oriented, and you pick up these little nuances that like make somebody like, oh, she remembered. I feel like you're really good with that.
Thanks, bitch.
You're welcome.
Okay.
I love tequila.
I know, ho. You're like 90% tequila.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, last question.
No.
Yeah. You were having fun, huh? Roasting me. See what? This is a treacherous best friend.
No.
Okay. If I actually listen to it.
Yes. What advice would I give you?
Yes.
To listen to me. Because we have proved time and time again, not just from you, but from other people that ask me for advice, and then they literally do the opposite. It never turns out well. I'm only coming from a place of experience.
Listen, you old hoe.
I have hoe tendencies. which has allowed me to recompile myriads of experiential experiences. So I know a little bit. I feel like people need to find out, like, yes, sometimes somebody will ask for advice because they want to see if it matches up with whatever they want to do ultimately. If it doesn't, then you're like, I'm still gonna do it.
Is somebody me?
You and other people that ask for advice. Yeah. So then if you give the contrary advice, then you're like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm still gonna go through with whatever I wanted. But if I agree with your advice, you're like, yes, I knew it.
Yeah.
Because you need to learn, and it's not a bad thing, because if you do what I say, then there's always gonna be a what if I did what I wanted to do. And what if it turned out well, and then you told me not to do something, and now I'm single or something, you know, like. Yeah. But you need to learn it from your own experience.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just sometimes friends check with friends for their advice, because it would be shitty if you're trying to ask for advice, even if you're not going to take it, and people say, well, I'm not going to give you fucking advice because you never do what I fucking tell you. Then it doesn't leave a good taste in your mouth, because it's like, I don't have your back, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like...
Oh, but you say that, but you give me the advice.
Oh, no, I give you advice.
You give me advice, and then you're like, I know you're going to do whatever you want to do anyway.
But it's like, you just need to feel like your friends have your back, because they're not just turning on you, even though you're not going to do shit with their advice.
I know. I think with this last one, the more you didn't like him, the more I wanted it to work out.
Yes, and and even I would say, do not send a text, and you'll be like, guess what I did? Don't be mad at me. And I'll be like, do not reach out to him. Like, let him earn some of your attention, like.
Yeah, well, he did.
Yeah, but I feel like there were a couple instances where, like.
Yes, that I probably should have listened to you, and this maybe would have been done.
But now you know.
Yeah.
You know the, not consequences, but the outcome of things. Like, it was never gonna, even if you reached out, he was probably never gonna reach out on his own accord, but you reached out, and it was still whatever to him sometimes, So.
Yeah. We'll see if I take your advice next time. I am not dating anybody or talking. I have no interest.
I feel like
I have no
interest. You need a little break, because you know what? Whenever you least expect it, then it'll come to you. Like.
Well, I didn't expect it with this one.
Well, yeah, but
I did kind of make it happen a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, it'll just be like a random thing,
Well, like Stevie.
Yeah, like out at a bar, out and about, like, and you had a good experience, and you guys had never left it on bad terms, like,
no,
it was perfect.
He knows how to fucking communicate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's so fun, like, his banter, and, like, the way, like,
that was the other thing, too, because you love Stevie, and he's all the way in England. Yet you did not like this last one, and he's in the same state as us.
Yeah.
And I was like, how can you like him so much? He's literally your favorite man that's ever been in my life. Yet this one who's in the same state, you did not like.
Because my hodar was not.
You knew in your gut.
Just little things that he was doing initially.
That he was doing to us.
To us. Yes. We're not moving. We are not moving. We have our daughter here. We cannot move.
I think you said that to me once, and I was like, well. And you were like, no. And I was like, well.
No, it.
I mean, that was.
It was a learning experience, though. Like.
Yeah, for sure.
It was like a rough learning experience, but.
It was. It is.
I mean, who's to say that maybe in the future it couldn't happen, But maybe not.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying, like, if
oh, yeah, You said a lot.
I'm not saying anything. Like, I'm not saying about anything.
We're social butterflies. So we're going out to bars and we're going out to the Bay. We're going to music festivals. So who knows what's going to happen? It'll be a distraction for you and you'll dance with somebody if anything.
I am never stopping talking to other people for people again.
What if they... Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we just need to like...
But it's just, I just can't. You know, it's like when I connect with somebody, I'm like all about them and then I feel... bad, like I can't. I can't talk. I can't.
Like almost betraying the other person, right?
Do you remember? I went out to that bar and we met up with so and he put his arm on my back and I stiffened up automatically.
Like, don't touch me. I have a man.
I felt violated a little bit. I was like
I'm talking to someone else.
Like this is not okay.
It's not up for grabs.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Yeah. It was up for grabs. It should have been up for grabs.
I told you.
Ugh.
I told you.
Ugh. You guys, my daughter does that when I ask her to do something. Like, hey, can you empty the dishwasher? She'll be like, ugh. Fine. So that's our new noise. All right. What's your advice to all the best friends out there who listen to their other best friends' bullshit?
Just be patient. Be kind. Be there for them. Because these hoes don't know how to act on their own.
As they're yelling at you in the morning.
Yes. Yeah.
How do you not feel accosted by some of my antics?
I'm like, I see your call and I'm like, the first thing I do is greet her with like, look who decided she has a best friend today and decided to be late for work yet again.
I'm not always late for work. But when I am...
You commit to that shit.
They don't care.
You like to commit, yeah.
I do. I like... No. Never mind. All right. To all the besties out there, I love my bestie. Have fun listening to your friends' drama. Because it's dramatic up in here.
Comment with some of your drama.
Yes. Tell us your drama. We want the tea.
Yeah.
I just gave you a hell of a lot of tea, y'all. I want the tea back.
Or tell us what you think of her toxic behaviors if you think she has other ones that I didn't think about.
They don't know.
They could guess right. We'll tell you.
All right, you guys. That's all we've got for you today. Thank you for coming on the show.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yes. All right, you guys. If you haven't done so already, please like me on Facebook, follow me on Instagram, and watch all the episodes of the Time Pass Podcast on the YouTube channel where you can like, follow, and subscribe. Do me a favor. If you enjoy listening to us, you have a bestie that listens to all your bullshit. Share the show with them. Share the show with them. It's so important to have somebody like a sounding. I don't know what I would do. Can you imagine?
You'd be a mess.
Can you imagine if I didn't have you?
What would you do?
I don't know. How would we
Alexis wouldn't listen.
How would we make our decisions? Oh.
How would you ignore the decisions you need to make?
I know. Anyway, share it with them. Share it with them. A bestie is a wonderful thing to have. All right, you guys, stay authentic. Even when you don't take your best friend's advice, authentically don't take it. And we will see you next time. Bye.
Mahalo.
You're not Hawaiian.
I come for this episode.